What's up, nerds? Welcome back to Cool Nerd Show. My mic was muted again, and I managed to go in and just kind of flip it. We don't want a repeat of last week. As always, I'm Steve Trezza, joined by Scappernet, Thick Flare himself. We decided that with March Madness, I don't really care or watch about anything to do with March Madness, but with March Madness, we should do a bracket, and we decided to do this is like real last minute of the greatest video game characters of all time.
I think it's more iconic. I think we settled on
Iconic. And we are looking at 4 different decades. So we're looking at the 1980s, the 1990s, the 2000s, the 2010s. So that's going to be the topic of the show tonight. We have 64 characters are entering the ring. We picked out 16 from each decade. And this is actually going to probably run for a few weeks, I think.
I said, yeah, I think we're doing 80s, 90s tonight. We'll do the 20-aughts next week. And then we will do the Final Four the following week.
Yeah. Final Four will be the finale. Finale 4. But as always, we are Cool Nerd Show. Welcome. Please join our Discord channel, the Cool Nerd Nation. You can find it in the description of wherever you are watching or listening this podcast. And be sure to follow us on Twitch. We both Twitch stream on different channels. Mine is twitch.tv/Tresnator, and Scott's is twitch.tv/thickflare4Cs. We're also both
your eyes down towards the bottom of the screen, and you'll notice all of our names and stuff.
Or just retain that if you're an audio listener. And if you are an audio listener, then you're probably listening on one of the many podcast apps that we appear on. We're basically on all of them. So that is that. We're also on YouTube, where this show will go live. With that, Scott, how was your week? How you doing?
You know, it's a week, another week in the pandemic. Just getting through life. And playing Elden Ring, a little more, it's a cheerier world than the one we're currently in.
So I guess we can transition that into what we're playing, because I actually jumped into Elden Ring since I had beaten my Mass Effect playthrough. I've jumped into Elden Ring this week, like full just head down straight into it. I beat Margit.
Nice.
Yeah, it took me a while and took me a few tries.
You can always just give me a buzz and I can come in and help.
Yeah, I know you're like probably way more overpowered, so I kind of want to like if I really really need you, I will.
It scales a bit though. The more people in there, I think the boss gets more health. So
what's going on, Zorak?
I'm like level 170 something, so it might get a lot more health.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of stayed back. I had to up my magic containers. And then I just kind of like kept my distance and just magicked him to death. So
what starter class did you pick again?
Astrologer.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you're a main magic man. So you're gonna want to go like full magic build.
Yeah,
I mean
exactly.
You don't really have to, but
well, I'm leveling up my strength and stuff, but I'm getting into it now. I'm at the castle and I kept dying.
Strength and intellect is a good combo because there's some really powerful weapons that require both and scale well with both. There's a sword called the Sword of Night and Flame, which is like the overpowered weapon in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, I'll have to take a look. I
remember where to get it too. So
I haven't really looked at guides yet. I did look up at the guide to like get a shield that I guess I missed earlier in the game. But outside of that, I haven't really looked into it. I've just been kind of exploring on my own and doing things on my own. So
I was like, Google, help me out here.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll definitely jump into guide, like looking up stuff on Google soon. But
especially when you start to get quests.
Yeah, because I'm gonna forget them.
Yeah, well, they don't even fucking like. They're just like, oh yeah, find me later, and it's like, what? Where? I don't. Where? And it's like, you don't. You got to look it up because it's like, where am I gonna? It's a sentient pot named Alexander, and
Oh yeah,
you gotta,
I rescued
yeah,
him.
yeah, you gotta find him again, and then you gotta use oil to lube him up. And they don't tell you that, and then you gotta hit him again. He's somewhere else. I didn't do it, but he's there. I haven't found him yet. But
Zoark said y'all are talking Latin to me when it comes to Elden Ring. Never played it or Dark Souls. Played like 30 of Bloodborne and hated every minute. So yeah, yeah.
it is an acquired taste.
This is my first Souls game. I've never played. I've heard a lot about them, but this is the first one I'm jumping in, and it took me a little while to get into it. I'm about 10 hours in, and I am enjoying it. I'm not streaming it though. I'm just playing it at my leisure. Um, I feel like it's that type of game, but I'm sure I would get a bunch of cool streaming content out of it. But I just kind of feel like turning my brain off when I'm doing it, and it took a little getting used to, but now I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
The only other Soulsborne game was Bloodborne, and I didn't really. I played like Dark Souls 3 for like 10 minutes, and I had the same feeling. I guess I wasn't in the right mind frame, but I dove into Bloodborne pretty hard, and the Elden Ring has consumed me until 10 days from now, and I'll just move over to Tiny Tina's for a little bit, and then come back to Elden Ring probably.
Yeah, I think he mentioned the closest thing he ever played was to a Souls game was Star Wars Fallen Order.
Yeah,
that game's fantastic. It is kind of a Souls game. That game's so good. I'm also playing, before we get in the news, I started my Batman Arkham playthrough. Arkham Origins is definitely dated.
Yeah.
I think they're all probably dated because they all kind of play the same. But I am enjoying it. It's just I
Arkham
remember
Origins is a little. It feels different than the other ones. Well, it's not Rocksteady.
It's not.
So.
I remember going in though, like when I was playing, I was like, wow, video games used to be like this. Like I kind of noticed how they've like transcended in terms of like an open world game. I am enjoying it, but I think that's just more because I like the characters a lot. I also am playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I kind of put that on the back burner. But I have a bunch of trips coming up, so I'm gonna bring my Switch with me and probably play that on the plane.
Yeah, I played a bit of Arkham Origins not too long ago, and it's like you really see how they have to design around the limitations of the time.
Yeah,
and it's. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but I mean, it's no Arkham Asylum or Arkham City. I played through them, Asylum and City again, and they still hold up.
yeah.
So
I'm not disliking it, but I do. I remember.
It's a weird taste. At least a weird taste in your mouth.
Yeah,
you're like, this is good, but not great.
I'm interested to see, and the whole reason why I do these playthroughs is because I like to see how the story progresses, and like that's why I started with Origins, because it's like this canonically is like the first one, and we're gonna see how this goes into the second and third and whatever. So I'm looking forward to being that, and it shouldn't take me too long because I'm already like a quarter of the way through the game. And I only played it one night, so it's not like Mass Effect was gonna take me fucking 3 months to beat a game.
I mean, not Origins. Asylum and City are like not hefty, but they're like 20 plus hours.
They're around 20 hours, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Especially if you don't do the fucking Riddler trophies.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Because I know I can't. Oh, man, I like the Riddler trophies. They did sidetrack me a little bit.
They're distracting. They're a nice green color.
We will now be talking about Dragon Age. I've actually never played Dragon Age, but I will. That's on my list. Anyway.
That'd be good for a playthrough.
I don't want to play another RPG for a while. It's just going to take me way too long to do.
That's true.
I'm going to be playing it for a year. There's 3 of them. It took me like half a year to get through Mass Effect.
Oof.
Yeah, if I do play them, it might just be at my own time. When in 2 years when I'm done with Elden Ring. Arkham Origins is what I said, not Dragon Age. Sorry. Okay, the news for this week. So we have 5 news stories. I pulled out what I thought might be the most our channel-ish. First off, Ms. Marvel got a trailer. As everyone knows, I am a big Marvel fan. also a big DC fan, but I love the MCU, and I've watched everything in the MCU. And this trailer looks like a hot steaming pile of crap. Um, Actually, I don't think the acting looks too bad. The tone is more like Disney Channel, and like whatever, that's fine. I would watch something like that. But they changed her power, which is really stupid. They just kind of made her like the Green Lantern. If you haven't seen the trailer, you can go watch it. I don't think we need to
Hey, at
do a
least we're getting
reaction.
some sort of fucking Green Lantern content, even if it's from Marvel.
The representation matters for like the Muslim community, and I get that, and I really like Ms. Marvel as a character, Kamala Khan. Um, and her suit looks cool, but the trailer looks really stupid, and the special effects look really dumb too. So I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not very hyped about it. Not like I am for like
Yeah.
Moon Knight.
But it looks like it has a smaller budget, and it's for teenagers. You could tell by like the visualization, the onomatopoeias, and the
Yeah.
representation of like high school kids. It's like really high, not like where Spider-Man is in high school, and it's like he's just a relatable dork. This is like Degrassi with superpowers. It looks like it's just like a teenager show, which not everything is for us. We are 32 and 35
Yep.
years old. Not everything's for us, and that's cool. And then people are gonna like it, and representation
Speaking
matters,
of
and
that,
that's cool.
actually, that's a good segue into one of our next news stories. Ewan McGregor said in a recent, and I have something to add to this too. Ewan McGregor said in a recent interview that there is a new wave of positivity around the prequel trilogy. I think
Oh yeah.
kind of what we're getting with Obi-Wan and whatever.
He's like, where was this fucking energy in
And
2001, you pieces of shit?
I quote from him: "Now I meet the people who we made those films for, who were the kids of the time." He said, "And our Star Wars films are their Star Wars films, in the way that Carrie Fisher and Alec Guinness and Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford's films were ours. We are theirs, and that's beautiful that." They were important to the kids who we made them for. It's just so nice to finally get that wave of positivity about them. Now, I wanted to bring this up because Alexa and I actually watched through the prequel trilogy this past weekend to get ready for Obi-Wan. And boy, are those movies not good. Like, one
Revenge
and
of the Sith
two,
is great.
I don't know if it's great. It's good, but one and two are so bad. It's two especially, because every time I watch two again, I'm like, I don't think it's as bad as I remember. It can't be worse than The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, and it is. Like, it is horrendously bad. Fucking
I
Hayden
disagree.
Christensen
Okay,
cannot go watch it again because it's
I do.
real
That's,
bad.
that's leading up to my next point. They are, while not good movies, are rewatchable movies. Let it sink. Let it marinate. Because I can watch Phantom Menace, and I can watch Attack of the Clones. Once every couple of months, once every year, half a year. Pop them on, board, put them on the background. Colors in my eyes, lightsaber sounds. They're cool. They're fun to watch. And that turn your brain off kind of Star Wars story. I have not watched Rise of Skywalker again, and I have not watched The Last Jedi again. So while they might like structurally and like, well, actually, they're a better written movie. Sure, whatever. You could like the new Star Wars trilogy or better movies, but they're not rewatchable. I can't.
The Force Awakens is.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would put Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones up against Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi for like the Razzies of the Skywalker saga, and I'd pick the prequels to rewatch, gun to my head, than the sequel trilogy. I guess it's a nostalgia thing, maybe.
I think that the Phantom Menace is better than both of them. I do not think that Attack of the Clones is better than both of them. I think that movie is a steaming pile of crap. But I do agree with you where it's like, if
you see Coruscant and stuff, and
yeah,
there's like there's moments in it. It's not bad. I like I get a little choked up when Anakin has to go and save his mother, and like there's parts of that, and like minus
He's
some
so
bad.
creepy and rapey though, like real
Yeah,
bad. And
well, I
then,
mean, okay, you can't really. He's just doing what he's like given, right? So it's
oh, I
like,
don't blame him. It's definitely George
yeah,
Lucas, and part of it is that George Lucas didn't direct a fucking movie from
yeah,
1977 up until 1999. So he's got
yeah,
22 years of like not doing shit, just sitting back on that Star Wars paycheck. And
yeah.
he's like, I
Well,
can make another movie. And then he comes out and gives this fucking The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I think that was him like working out the rust for Revenge of the
Revenge
Sith.
is,
Yeah.
but
Um
yeah, while you can argue the merits of if it's a good like which movies are better, I will watch the prequels over the sequel trilogy. At least those if we put those four movies in a bargain bin, I'm
if
picking
you
the
put
prequels.
all right, but if you put Clones Attack of the Clones up against either Jedi or Skywalker, would you watch that over them?
I'm watching Clones, yeah. Solely for like
I might
the
too,
Yoda
but I
fight,
don't know.
only
Like,
for the Yoda fight and the battle at the end, and like the just like they okay, so what they did with like the fighting and like the combat in it, they fucking jumped in with both feet. And like in The Last Jedi, it's like I don't know, it just didn't. That whole scene in the fucking like mirror room where just after he killed Snoke, like the fighting is stiff and like Luke is an asshole, and it's like Never Meet Your Heroes the movie, and it's like and he's drinking milk out of a titty, and it's like, what is this? And there's like the forced FaceTime where they can like see each other. It's weird. It's like I don't know. And it's
um,
like it's the disappoint. I think the disappointment jumping from the Force Awakens
I
to the
definitely
Last
think
Jedi.
that has something to do with it. Yeah.
It has, yes. Steve Berkner says old man yells at clouds. Yeah, it is basically an old man yells at cloud segment. But like the excitement I felt after Force Awakens were like the possibilities, man. Oh, the possibilities.
Yeah,
We
that's how
theory
everyone
craft,
felt because The Force
we
Awakens is a
theory
good
crafted.
movie.
Yeah, we theory crafted, and I was like, oh, Snoke is this, and ba ba ba, and all this other stuff, and then it's just like, nope, none of it.
Yeah. And I think we kind of knew where the prequel trilogy was going to because everyone's excited to see Darth Vader. So that's why everyone's kind
Yeah.
of hanging on. Zorark says, hi, Scott. And,
Hello.
and yes, the I don't like sand line. I mean, that is probably proves Scott's point where it's like, it's so bad, but every time
It's
that
meme
Clones
worthy
is
at least.
on, it's like, oh wait, we gotta at least watch the sand line. There it is.
Yeah, or where he like force cuts the pair in that weird
Oh
date that they
god.
have on the
Yeah.
go, and he falls off that like
I know
alien
we're
that
getting
shouldn't work.
we could have a whole podcast just based on Attack of the
Yeah.
Clones.
We still have other fucking.
But it's so bad. It's like the romance is so forced, and then like at the end when Padme's like, I love you, I'm like, where did that come from? You've been like creeped out by him the whole time. You have no chemistry in this whole movie. It's just extremely forced.
Stockholm's. Yeah, it's forced.
Get it?
Nice.
Rise of
Also,
Skywalker is also pretty bad though. Yeah.
also in the sequel trilogy, you don't get Watto. That alone makes it a worse.
No, but
trilogy of movies.
you don't get Jar Jar Binks either.
Okay, but you got Jar Jar Binks for a movie, and then they toned it back. Also, the
Also,
Darth Jar Jar theory is cool. I like. I'll
why?
take that.
What was going through Padme's head that she thought that she could like give up her responsibility to fucking Jar Jar Binks?
You know what? She's just like, you know what? Go be in the Senate. And she patted him on the head, and that's it. I feel so bad for the dude who played him. He got so much shit, and it's not his fault either.
Okay, let's move on. We could talk about this. We should have like an all Star Wars
Yeah.
discussion, an all Star Wars show in the future.
Yeah.
We should have actually started with this, but rest in
Sad,
peace.
yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace, Scott Hall, and also William Hurt, who played Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU.
There's always three, so there's got to be a third one coming up.
Probably.
Celebrities dies in three. But Scott Hall is kind of a tragic thing. Like he had like complications from hip surgery or something, and he got heart attacks from it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's super sad.
yeah. And he like cleaned his life up, and he was doing good.
Because
And
he
it's
was
just like,
he
yeah, it's
wasn't
always
looking good for a while.
yeah.
But
And Diamond Dallas Page like saved his life.
he is like the like wrestling miracle worker
Yeah,
rehab man, because he did the
yeah. He
same thing
literally
with like
kicked the
Jake
snake.
Roberts and someone else. I can't remember.
Yeah, like from the brink, and DDP comes and he's like, "Let's do yoga and save your life," and it worked. DDP is a saint.
He is. I hear he's like an awesome guy too. But I just
Yeah,
remember watching, like, I grew up, with Razor Ramon, watching Scott Hall in the
I
end of
remember he was
Row.
like your guy in the game too. I mean, you were just. I specifically remember you doing
In
the thumb
WrestleMania, the
thing,
arcade. Oh
the
yeah,
thumb
I used
thing
to
when he
do this
comes
all the
out.
time. Yeah, and he'd walk down the aisle like with his hands in front of each other.
And
Fucking, he was great.
it completely invented the ladder match with Shawn Michaels. That
Oh
ladder
yeah,
match is like still one of the best of all time.
I used to do the Razor's Edge on my brother like all the time when we probably
Yeah,
shouldn't be doing wrestling moves on each other.
poor Matt's cerebral spine. He's just catching razor's edges onto the hardwood floor.
We had pillows.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. Those 90s pillows made out of lead and feathers.
Scott, this next story is for you. Hogwarts Legacy gameplay footage
So
is
ready.
due this week. I think the 17th is when it's coming out.
Thursday at 5 Eastern. I'm going to try to get back from the gym quick so I could actually watch it. I'm going to be so mad if they're like coming 2023.
I will be laughing because
I know.
For those who don't know, Scott and I had a video game fantasy draft a couple episodes ago, and Scott picked
Check it out.
Hogwarts Legacy. So yeah.
So if it comes out,
I hope it gets delayed because he gets no points if we're going by Metacritic score. That's how we're scoring every game that we drafted. But if it doesn't come out this year, you get no points.
I don't think they do a state of play if it got pushed. That's just me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was thinking today, like, Hogwarts kind of sounds like an STD.
Yeah.
She gave me the Hogwarts.
I'm sure somebody's gotten the Hogwarts before.
I probably won't be playing it because I'm not really a Harry Potter fan.
What?
Sorry.
It's like you could. It's like
I have never seen.
You could be a bit.
I have seen a bunch of Harry Potter movies, but only because one of my friends always has them on every time I go over his house. But I don't think I've ever watched the Harry Potter movie.
You do
all the way through,
like, playthroughs and watch alongs. And
it doesn't appeal to me at all. I just don't care.
It is like such a good Christmas movie, too. Like the first two are just solid Christmas movies to watch. And when it's like cold out, you got the heat on, you got some soup, and like a piece of bread, and you just watch Harry Potter.
Zoark said Harry Potter is worse than the entire Star Wars sequels trilogy. And then he said, "Bring it on, Scott."
This guy's got some bad takes. I don't know who he is.
I mean, I don't know. I would know because I've never seen them, but I'm sure I could get into it. I just not really high fantasy.
It's boring too.
All right, Steve. Thank you. You're on my side.
Yeah, you got 3 people. This whole fucking franchise makes billions of dollars. it's 3 against a billion people.
Our last story, and then we'll get into the topic of the night. Free Guy's Sean Levy to direct Deadpool 3. I mean, I didn't see Free Guy. I'm sure it's a popcorn fun movie.
He also did the Adam Project, which just came out on Netflix, which was surprisingly good.
Okay.
I cried a lot.
Deadpool 1 and 2 had different directors. So I don't think it really matters. Plus, these are all it's going to be the first MCU Deadpool, and it will be rated R. So I am intrigued to see what they're going to come up with.
Is it going to be rated R?
Yeah, they said that it is.
I don't believe it when I see it.
And Disney is kind of reversing their whole tone on.
I saw that.
On like mature content because all of the old Netflix shows are coming over. They're doing Deadpool. Oh, they can fuck off.
Yeah, right. Just set the parental controls and shut up.
Yeah. And I hope that we get like Blade should be rated R. Like, I hope we get Marvel Knights, like Marvel Knights movies where they just go head in and just make everything super
Wasn't it
gory and
like
shit.
Marvel Max was like this ultraviolet comic back in the day, like the
Yeah,
90s?
it was. That's Jessica Jones was part of that.
Yeah. Just do like that. Like that's dangerous. They're finally like making content I like, and I've stocked so much of my personality in being a DC guy that like, what am I
You
gonna do? Reinvent
you can be
myself? Yeah,
both. You can be both, Scott.
I know. But that's the thing. I'm willing to like. I'm not like just because it's Marvel, it's bad. It's just I have a particular taste for myself, and they're actually like making content for that particular taste. So I'm back, I guess.
R-rated Star Wars movie, I don't think will ever happen. They do push the
No.
limit with their shows though, where it's like that guy's dead, but they're not going to say he's dead. Although also in The Mandalorian, like in the first episode, he like cut some guy in half with a door, which was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I think there's just the weapons don't leave blood trails. So it's like unless you get eaten by a rancor, it's not like he has laser teeth or something.
That's a way where you could slice off someone's head or slice someone in half and still get a PG-13 rating.
Yeah, it's like it's all like singed from the You saw Django Fett guy's head cut off.
Yeah, and fucking Darth Maul gets sliced in half.
Yeah. And
These movies are for kids.
It gently floats into a hole.
Yeah. I also started watching the Clone Wars again. I'm halfway through season 3. They're just so long. I just put them on in the back, like kind of like when I'm doing stuff and like half pay attention. And if it's really good, I'll pay attention. But I really want to finish it just to say that I did. So eventually I will.
When does Obi-Wan come out? May?
Yes.
And Moon Knight is in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I've been looking forward to Moon Knight. Although like it's always like, oh, people have seen it and they say it's the best Marvel show ever. It's like, okay, not everything could be the best. It could be, but like every time anything pop culture comes out, it's like it's the best ever. And it's like you can't just be like, yeah, it's good.
They just keep redoing. They just keep one upping themselves, Scott. It's the best ever every time.
Everything else is a steaming pile of shit in comparison to this is a new. It's like, come on, it's good. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great, even. But like, it's gonna be the best ever.
I mean,
Moon Knight.
In terms of Marvel TV shows,
maybe. I haven't watched a single goddamn one of them, so it'll be the best for me.
What If was very good. What If might be my favorite. I don't know. I liked WandaVision a lot too.
What about that picture for Multiverse of Madness that came out? That
oh yeah, can you pull that up?
Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
Send each other so much shit.
So Multiverse of Madness released a poster. It's got I guess, is it Wanda's like headpiece? Yeah. And it looks like it's a bunch. Let me know when it's up. I'll switch over.
I don't remember where I sent it.
Just look up Multiverse of Madness poster.
That's true.
Wanda poster. But her headpiece is made out of a bunch of different Marvel characters, like clothing, I guess, or like attire
items. Was it real?
Watch, it was fucking fake. We're pulling it up. I think you said it to me on TikTok.
Was it TikTok? Oh yeah, it might have been TikTok. I don't see it in Google Images. So, Doctor Strange 2 fan poster. Oh, it is a fan poster.
A fan poster? Oh, that's stupid. All right, never mind then.
That's lame.
Never mind.
That was so cool.
You said it to me today, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." But I guess never mind then. All right, I think it's time. We're gonna get into looking at our March Madness bracket, which is looking at the greatest video game characters of all time.
We need a moderator. So Steve, hop in Discord if you're still in chat.
Our friend Steve Berkner is going to come, and he's going to be the deciding factor. I don't know if we're gonna look at the seeds. So we're looking at each decade: 1980s, 1990s, 2000s,
I kind of seeded them in the way like you sent them to me,
and I kind of just sent them to you. I kind of didn't seed them. I was just like, here's a bunch of characters, and here you go.
It seemed like good.
So we'll take a look at all of them. We'll see if we need to replace the seeds, and then maybe we'll go through round 1 today. But this is going to be like a 2 or 3 week thing where we're going to jump into, following up next week, and then the final week I think we'll go over the final 4.
Why is it not? Why is it
And I
moving
think,
away? I'm zooming in. It's like getting smaller.
are you on the reaction screen?
Yeah.
Let's pull that up.
Can I get that off? No, I don't want templates. What are you doing? What happened?
All right, hold on, I'm moving
Yeah.
moving
hold
my
on,
screen here.
Shit.
Did
Give me
you
a
lose
second.
it?
No, it's here somewhere. Go away.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
how
God.
are we, because we didn't really talk about this, we just kind of like was like, this would be something fun to do. How are we going to score that? Like, how are we going to look at these? What's going to be the deciding factor?
I don't know. I thought we'd play it by ear. Why is this not? Okay, this is annoying.
All right, I'm going to go
Changes
back
in
to the live screen. You can let me know when you have that up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's up. There it is.
Yeah, it's up. I got it.
So are we only looking at the 80s today?
80. I got 80s and 90s. 90s is another one.
Okay, cool. So we'll look at the 80s first. I'm going to make this big because it's a little hard to read.
Steve said he doesn't see us in a room. Steve, go to the Cool Nerd Show
Hold
Discord.
on.
Is it privated?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I can invite him. Create invite.
You should see it now.
Boom. You got an invite. There he is.
Hey.
Welcome, other Steve.
Oh wait, I gotta mute this. All right.
Yeah,
am I
so
doing?
you just got to look at bring up the stream, and we have a bracket, right?
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's a little hard to read. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Okay, here we go.
Can I zoom in here? Make it real big.
I zoomed in. All right, let's go to the top left bracket.
Okay, hold on. It's not letting me.
Why is Cubert on here twice?
Is he?
Yeah, he is on there
Yeah,
twice.
10 and
Oh.
16.
It's 16. Okay, well, I must have what was 10? Your 10 was Cubert.
I didn't look at your characters at all.
Yeah, I must have just 16. Where'd 16? Wait, where's Cubert again? So 16 is there we go. This was Ryu.
Ryu not Street Fighter Ryu though.
Yeah. Ryu H.
Ryu H from Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, that was it.
Mm.
Cubert's
Okay.
just that iconic.
So here
Yeah,
are the
he's on my
characters
list.
for the 1980s that we're going to take a look at. They're going to battle off in the first battle.
Yeah. I think some of these are just going to be like, I agree, and you move on.
Yeah. So
But-
Steve is coming in to be that deciding factor when Scott and I are like disagreeing. He's going to be the tiebreaker, basically.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I am the chaos.
He is the chaos. So I'm going to go down just my list of the characters that we have in here. Fucking Leisure Shoot Larry. He should be 16. So we have Mario.
We can move them.
We might be able to. I'm just going to go through the list of them right now. So Mario, Link, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Simon Belmont from Castlevania, Samus, Mega Man, Bill Reiser from Contra, Frogger, Cubert, Bomberman, Leisure Suit Larry, Bj Blasquez from Wolfenstein, Dig Dug, Mr. Do, and
who that
Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. So,
You.
the back
Well-
half of this, not great.
Not the best, no.
But the front half is good. And the reason why we want to do 16 characters is because the decades of the 90s and the 2000s have a lot of really good characters. So, right now, I guess we have Mario at number 1, Link at number 2,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong at number 3. These are the seeds. Pac-Man at number 4. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
normal. Simon at number 5, Samus at number 6, Mega Man at
I think
7. Bill
Samus is
Reiser at 8.
way more iconic than Simon Belmont.
I think Mega Man is more iconic than Samus. I think Mega Man can go at 5, Samus at 6, put Simon Belmont at 7, I guess. You put Mega Man.
Okay. Well, you know what? Mega Man.
Mega Man is the legally safe knockoff of.
Yeah, that's the one. We got Mega Man at home.
Okay.
Bill Reiser at 8. Why is it just the one Contra guy?
Because he becomes like the normal one player in like future games.
Oh, okay.
And I think if you're first player, he's like Mario to Luigi.
Okay. Above Bomberman though?
You think Bomberman's that
I mean, yeah, I
iconic?
guess. Yeah, I mean, I feel like more.
When
things
was the
to
last
do
time
in
a
the retro-
Bomberman game came out?
There's more recent than a Contra game.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I don't care. I think they're losing regardless.
All right, well we'll keep Bill Reiser at 8.
Yeah. Is he gonna upset Frogger? Who knows?
Frogger at 9. I think that's fair, right?
That's fair, yeah.
And then we got, let's list these: Cubert, Bomberman, Leisure Suit Larry, Bj Blasquez, Dig Dug, Mr. Do, and Ryu Hayabusa.
I think the only one out of there that stands a snowball's chance is Ryu. Just because he's a cool ninja and he's iconic.
Can we put?
But
all right,
I think we put him at 10 and Cubert at 16.
I was gonna put Leisure Suit Larry at 16.
Okay, and then we'll put Cubert at 12.
And Ryu at 10. Ryu H.
Ryu H at 10.
Skull said
Okay.
Kirby, but Kirby's more of a 90s character. But I don't even think he's on our list.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Leisure Suit.
we'll swap someone out for him.
Yeah, maybe we can. And what else did I say?
Leisure Suit Larry at 16, which means Ryu H is going to 10 and
10.
Cubert's going to 12.
Yeah, that's it. Come on. Okay, don't grab the Y. It's fine.
If you don't know who
Okay.
Leisure Suit Larry is, he was like this game in the 80s is kind of like a
pervy.
point and click, and it was super pervy, and the whole point of the game was to like bang a bunch of women.
Yeah. Ugh, not great.
And then they
may
tried
have
to
a-
revive him in like the 2000s, and he
also
had
not
like
great.
he had like 1 or 2 like games on Xbox. Surprisingly. They didn't do very well.
Yeah, also not surprisingly.
Okay. I think this looks good for our one. Do we want to jump into the 90s or do we want to do a round of the 80s?
I say let's complete the 80s and then go to the 90s, just so we like
For
have
round one, right? Or do we want for round one?
No, let's get a winner for the 80s. Let's just get a win because like
We're just gonna do the whole 80s? All right,
Yeah,
let's do it.
do the whole 80s. Let's get a winner.
All right, so Mario takes on Leisure Suit Larry. I mean, I don't
Okay,
think.
hear me out.
Oh God.
No,
I'm gonna
I
say
will not.
Leisure Suit.
I don't think. Yeah, there's no chance Leisure
Wow.
Suit Larry wins this one.
Why is it not here? I'm just gonna copy that and see if I can paste it. No. Why won't? This is fun.
Gee.
Can you
Yeah.
just drag it?
It'll just leave. Oh God.
Yeah.
Should have went with
Oh,
the bracket maker.
it's behind.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's
This
see.
behind. That's from Signs.
Can you just give me a fucking? No, that's not it. How do I get a fucking? Okay, we'll just. Oh, add text. There we go.
Perfect.
Double click to edit me. There you go, Mario here. I'll go 1. It's a different font. Who cares?
It's also kind of light. You can't really read it.
Then we go. There we go. What's this font? Joseph F. Sands. Okay, here we go.
Joseph Sands.
Good old Joseph Sam.
Jay Sands. Joe Sands.
There we go.
Coming at
Okay.
you. All right. Now we got Mega Man versus Cubert. I mean,
Wait, no, we go down to 2. Down here. Link versus.
no,
Mr.
we'll get
Do.
there. We're gonna go straight down.
All right. Mega
Um,
Man. I mean, this is another no-brainer, right? Oh,
Yes,
Jesus.
yeah,
Cubert.
It's obviously cute. Why did it go this?
has
big?
Cubert had a game since the 80s?
No, no, and no shot.
Be like a mobile remake or some bullshit.
So Mega
Free to
Man
play
wins, right?
mobile Cubert.
Why did I go Mega Win?
Mega Man with a mega win.
Can I
He's
just-
gonna mega win this bracket.
Yeah. The next one will be easier because I didn't delete the text boxes. So there we go.
All right.
Oh wait, Mega Man's 5.
I think we
Okay.
got our first contention here.
Hmm.
Simon.
So Oh,
Castlevania.
Simon and Ryu.
versus Ryu H from Ninja Gaiden.
I mean,
Are
I still
either
think
of you Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania fans?
Castlevania kind of started the whole genre of games.
It did. Which Ninja
And
Gaiden is
Metroid.
similar. Yeah, and Metroid, I think.
So the Metroidvania still like goes hard today, and it's like one of my favorite game tropes. So I'm putting my hat in Simon's.
Plus, it's got a
ring.
sweet anime series too.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in. I don't know if he's in. I have no idea. I didn't watch it. I don't know. I didn't watch the show.
You mentioned anime. You win Steve over, so I think that just wins by default.
All
Yeah, I
right,
was gonna
so
say probably Simon, just because like even though I feel like Castlevania had a little lull there for a time, it's back more now. And then like as Scott said, like whole classic games based on it. Although I was just wasn't the Ninja Gaiden series sort of like super hard, kind of like Dark
It was
Souls
like it was like a
Yeah.
Souls game. Yeah.
it was known to be super hard, and it kind of came back, didn't they? They released one on Xbox a while ago.
Yeah,
like
there was a
the
couple of them on
original
Xbox.
Xbox, and then
yeah.
I haven't
But
seen
I feel like
anything.
it's-
Ninja Gaiden
Yeah, they
Black.
haven't-
Yeah.
Been one in a while, so it's
I'm going Simon B.
I
just 'cause
I
he-
agree
it's
with you
my
guys.
Initials.
I agree. We'll
It's got
go
my initials.
Simon Belmont, Castlevania. This fucking one. Donkey Kong
Anthem.
versus Dig Dug.
I think that's also a no-brainer.
Yeah, let's put Donkey Kong there. Spare Dig Dug.
Yeah. It's just like,
Embarrassing.
let's not be like, who the fuck would pick Dig Dug in their right goddamn mind?
there's just one Dig Dug fan watching this.
It's like fuck
It's just
fuck this show.
crying out.
Just like we lose a viewer. It's like, oh shit, we had the one Dig Dug fan.
All
Okay,
right.
so we shoot up to here, right?
Pac-Man versus Bj Blasquez.
I mean, in an actual fight. BJ
well, in an
Blazkowicz-
an actual fight, yes.
Because what the
Um,
fuck is Pac-Man? What is he? I don't know.
He gets one of those pills, you never know. Although BJ Blasquez probably also has his own type of pills.
That's
And-
true.
Yeah, he also kills Hitler. So
Also true.
does that make him more iconic than one of the most iconic game characters of all time?
no.
Got to do more than kill Hitler in this house to be better than Pac-Man.
I could be convinced to put BJ Blazkowicz there, but I think I'm leaning Pac-Man. He's just way more
Just
way more
it's like a
popularity,
whole-
way more
It's
iconic.
like the advent of gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No one
Pac-Man
knows who
is like the
fucking BJ
arcade-
Blazkowicz is.
Yeah. He's just the generic white guy in the game where you kill the Nazis.
$sign Pac-Man. I gotta stop holding shift.
Money
It's like
Pac-Man.
coding over. Let me grab it. Why won't you let me move you? There we go. Pac-Man moves on. Samus versus Bomberman.
Samus.
Yeah.
Mm.
Samus wins that easy.
Yeah. There's no debate in this one.
That's Mario. Why did that happen? Let me add the text. There we go. What number is Samus? 6?
Yeah.
Let me just shrink that. This is not an intuitive way to edit text. Bam. 8, Bill Reiser versus
From Contra.
9, Frogger. This is tough.
I think iconically, Frogger is people know who Frogger is. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even know who
That's
Bill Reiser was
Yeah.
going into. I was like Contra, that whoever that guy is, and I had to look it up.
Yeah.
So
So that by definition, that is not iconic.
it's not.
Yeah. His like he needs more around him to be iconic. Frogger, you just plop him in like on a picture and you're like
street.
Frogger.
When
Yeah.
was the last
Plop 'em.
Contra game that we got though?
Like 2008 maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Is it
definitely made
terrible?
like an Xbox arcade version.
Yeah. And then they made like a more narrative driven one, I think. And it wasn't good. But like iconic wise, he showed
Oh
two people
my
pictures.
goodness. Contra
What?
is the name of a fucking project management tool.
Nice.
I
Team up.
looked
with
up Contra,
Contra.
and the first thing that came up on Google was Contra, work the way you want. And I was like, that sounds really weird for a sequel name. And then I clicked on it.
Work the way you want. If you
It's
want to
like,
sell
oh,
weapons
no,
to
okay.
Iran.
Just be miserable at a desk job. That's what the next Contra's about. So I say
Um,
Frogger moves forward.
the
Just like
last
sheer
release came out in
iconography of-
2019.
2019?
Yeah, Contra Rogue Core on
They should make a game
Nintendo
called
Switch,
Contra.
PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
They should make a game called Contraband, where you just play music. It's like Rock Band with the Contra people, but it's only songs about drugs. Ship it.
It has
It's a genius
a
idea.
it has a Metacritic score of 52.
Nice.
That's really bad. All right,
Higher
yeah,
than
let's
I-
put
higher
Frogger.
than
Yeah,
I
I
thought.
agree. Frogger. I think Frogger. The
Iconography,
first
it's just-
upset.
Technically, seed wise, yeah. I think we just might have
Frogger
fucked
takes
up
that
seed wise.
Link versus
think-
Mr. Do. Has anyone played Mr. Do ever?
I'm not even going to entertain this as a question. It is Link. 100%.
I don't even know if I know.
This is
What
not like a
Mr. Do
Villanova
looks like.
versus like a whatever. There's no upset here. That's not going to be. Link is just all over the place, still making games. Mr. Do, more like Mr. Don't. Never heard of it. Link wins.
All right,
So
we're
now
in
we
we're in the second round now.
Tougher decision, but I mean, we're talking about not better
got
games.
8.
We're talking about
Yeah,
we're talking about iconic characters.
Mario versus Mega Man. This is actually
I'm talking about iconic.
yeah,
Yeah,
iconic.
Mario is like the fucking mascot of Japan.
Mario
He's a
might be
diss.
the mascot of video games.
Yeah.
You're gonna disrespect Goku like that?
It's video game characters.
Oh.
I guess he's technically in video games, but he's not a video game character. I mean, you can argue which games are better or more fun. Or
I
more
mean, I think
innovative.
that should at
Sure.
least have some weight in the decision.
Yeah.
Right?
But
I also
But, like,
think Mario's games
I
are better
think-
too.
yeah.
So
I think iconic is just like that jumps off the page, you look at it, you know what it is. And that Mario is just the guy.
He's
Yeah,
the
we
number one guy of the number one company out of Japan, and it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, Mega Man's probably like one of the bigger Capcom guys, but it's like, it's Capcom versus Nintendo at that.
He's like a side character in Super Smash Brothers, and Mario's the head, like the lead guy there. So it's
I
like,
agree with you guys. I think it definitely should be Mario, but I think moving forward, we should definitely weigh in the games and like just how good of a character they are too.
Okay, then we got to go back and we got to put Mr. Do here if we're putting the games and
That
Classic.
that Mr. Do just beats every Zelda game ever.
Simon B versus DK.
I mean, Donkey. Yeah, I think this is no brainer. I think it's Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I mean, there's just that core Nintendo grouping of characters is just going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, we're gonna get 4 Nintendo characters. Let me see. Well, maybe.
No,
No, I
maybe.
don't think. I think
Oh, yeah, the next one's going to be tough.
The next one is the toughest
Oh.
decision so far.
Yeah, Pac-Man versus Samus. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I think it's Pac-Man, but
But
I'll hear your arguments.
all right, here's my argument why it could be Samus. Because I'm not saying I'm throwing my hat in
Yeah,
that it is.
I have a
Samus.
reason why it could be Samus as well.
But my
might be
reason
the
why
same
I
reason.
think it could be Samus is because Samus. Pac-Man is one dimensional. Well, he's 2-dimensional, but his games are 1-dimensional, right?
Yeah.
It's iconic because it was such a huge game and everyone knows who Pac-Man is. But
well, there you go.
Samus has way better games. Like you could probably have 4 or 5 Metroid games that you'd rather play than Pac-Man. And as a
Yeah.
character, Samus has a pretty long backstory and lore. So
Also, an iconic moment in the Metroid games is pop that helmet off.
it's
You've been playing a woman the whole time.
exactly.
What? That's unheard of in the 80s. So many people probably got mad. They're like, God damn it, I've been playing a woman this whole time.
Yeah, after
Drop a
they
little
played
bomb
for 4 months because the games were impossible to beat back then. Have you ever played the original Metroid? It's so fucking hard.
Yeah. But Samus has a more iconic, I think I mean, iconic reveal because Pac-Man's just like, I'm just a fucking pizza.
If we're
I eat
going
pills."
solely based on
Yeah, but
who's iconic, I would definitely say Pac-Man. But if you're weighing
isn't that the
in,
whole point of
well, then
this
if we're just going to do
bracket?
that, then Mario's going to win the whole thing.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. If we're just going based on who's most iconic,
Yeah,
Mario's
going
gonna
to
win the whole thing.
It should be weighted.
Because
Iconography
you could
should
put
be
Mario
weighted,
up
but not
against
the whole thing.
Kratos, and Mario's way more iconic than Kratos is. You know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think how huge, like, if we're looking at this stats wise, Pac-Man's like a 99 in how iconic he is. But in terms of his games and in terms of like his character, Samus has him beat in that.
Yeah. This is
And-
like that Ultimate Warrior show or whatever, the Deadliest Warrior. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
On
Oh,
Spike, where they were like, it's a gladiator versus samurai, and the samurai would do this, but the gladiator has a net, and they had like ballistics
I've
thing.
never heard of this show before.
What? It was so anyway. I agree. I think iconography should be a part of what we weigh in, but like if you're talking about game wise,
So I think I just
You're
talked
talking about-
myself into picking Samus.
you know what? I think we have our first upset.
Okay, but wait, hold on. Hold on.
Let's hear Steve's argument.
Just one
You're
last.
Booth, Steve.
What?
You're just the guy in the booth. We made our decision.
All right, fine, fuck it.
No, I want to hear
Go
Steve's
for it.
argument.
Go for it,
No,
go
it's
for
just, it's just it's the one game, it's the one Pac-Man game, but they keep putting it on everything for all these years. That people keep buying it and fucking playing it. I mean, I still think that's pretty iconic. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if overall, I would rather play a fucking Metroid game than Pac-Man
Yeah.
for the 900th time. But
I will agree with you that like if you polled everyone who's ever played video games, like overwhelmingly more people have played Pac-Man than
Yeah.
have played a Metroid game. But talking about the character, and Pac-Man is more recognizable. But I think Samus is a better character.
Yeah. We're going for it. First upset. We need an upset, otherwise it's boring. It's controversy, and not like
yeah,
Contra,
and we
like
need to
Bill Reiser
we need to
Contra,
weigh
but
these decisions more. It was easy in the beginning because
until now. Yeah,
those
because you're
obscure.
right. If we don't, it's going to be Mario all the way.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get 4 Nintendo characters, but it was the '80s, so. So Frogger, do we have to?
All right, hear me out.
No, I'm gonna jump to conclusions on
Frogger
this one.
was in
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
But that's a a ding to it. Seinfeld sucks.
I know I don't like Seinfeld either. Go with Link. It's Link, hands down.
I think we spent all this time deciding between Pac-Man and Samus, and they're just gonna get
All
steamrolled.
right, the final four of the
That's right.
80s, and then do we move on to the 90s or do we keep it for next week? We can move on. We could go a little late if
Yeah, we
that's
can
how
go.
you feel. We might go to 9:30 tonight. Okay, so we have Mario, DK, Samus, and Link.
I mean,
So Mario versus DK.
DK is like a side character in the Mario universe.
I think
Although
I'll-
Mario
was the
showed
first character in
Yeah,
yeah, he
that's
was
true.
the first character. Mario showed up in DK. Ooh, that's
But then
tough.
Mario did become the more iconic.
Yeah.
I think
afterwards.
Yeah.
I think Mario squashes DK in every aspect that, like, if we're looking at iconic, if we're looking at the games,
Yeah,
if we're looking
games.
at his character, like, I don't even think DK can speak.
Didn't he have a cartoon?
Does that count? That cartoon's
think
really
so.
bad. That's a ding against him. Have you ever watched that cartoon? I saw
Okay, yeah,
that
you're
on Amazon. I was gonna say Metroid Prime, Amazon Prime. I saw that on Amazon Prime and was like, "There's the Donkey Kong cartoon," and I watched 2 minutes of it and was like, "This sucks." And I turned it off. Although Donkey Kong
He
Country,
does have that bongo game for the GameCube.
he does have the bongo game. It is fun.
You ever see somebody try beat Dark Souls game on those bongos?
No,
Yeah, it's interesting and doable apparently. But I feel like we wasted a lot of time upsetting Pac-Man and Samus when I think Link takes this.
Yeah, I don't
He
think there's any
he
question about it.
smashes a pot over Samus's head. Yeah, and just he kicks the shit out of her and he wins. I wish I
This
didn't.
So for the
delete-
title of 80s
Super
champion,
Smash Bros for this one.
It is. We should just play Super Smash to see who wins.
The AI's on hard. 3 stock it, no items.
Yep. Just let the universe decide. I mean, this is the
Mario
toughest
versus
decision.
Link. This
But we're
is
talking
a
about the
really, really
80s
tough
only.
decision.
Legend of Zelda was like the fucking just like the
Well, we're not
seed
just
that was planted.
I mean, we don't have to just look at their 80s games. We can look at their legacy throughout history.
Well, I mean, then they would
It's
be
the 80s bracket, though. But
it's the 80s bracket. We're talking about the 80s. This is the iconic, influential, best game characters.
if you're
of the
talking about
80s.
just the 80s games, then Mario wins. Because
Link was the seed that was planted that is the modern day RPG. Just because of like the backtracking, the item collecting, the secrets, the ability to save
Right.
your game.
right, but we're not
Like-
just
Yeah, that-
looking we're not just looking at the 80s because when Link battles off against the 90s or the 2000s, you're not going to just base the original Legends of Zelda up against
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
you can,
Grand Theft Auto, you know? Like,
yeah. But then if you're talking about all the game catalog, Breath of the Wild beats the shit out of any Mario game.
well, if you put every Mario game up and you put every Legend of Zelda game up,
You delete one.
you still think
delete one catalog out of existence forever. You got a big button in front of you. It's Super Mario games or Legend of Zelda games. You delete the Mario because you lose Ocarina of Time, you lose Majora's Mask, you lose Breath of the Wild, you lose all of those fucking. You lose Wind Waker, you lose those fucking dope ass Game Boy Advance ones. That like, I can't remember the name of them right now because I'm heated. But you lose all of those, right?
all right, but you
Mario,
lose
you'd-
every platformer game if you get rid of Mario.
I'm
He
talking
was
about
the
right now.
original
Not delete-
platformer.
Not delete their influence, right? You could just right now you have 2 buttons. You can never play one catalog again, and you'll never get any new games out of that catalog. You could keep Mario Odyssey. It was cute.
I'm
It
gonna
was no Breath of the
gonna-
Wild.
I'm gonna say something here.
What?
I think I would, and I will, and I do go back and play Mario games way more than I go back and play Zelda games.
Oh, I think it's just the types of games we like.
I actually just started playing Mario Galaxy the other day, just on a whim, because I was like, I fucking love this game.
The sense of wonderment that a fucking Legend of Zelda game gives you, like Ocarina of Time, is one of the most influential games of all time, hands down.
Yeah, but you could say the same about Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, you can. But I'm talking about Ocarina of Time. Those-
Even though I am kind of playing devil's advocate, I am leaning Link.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we have moderate. Let's go to the
Yeah.
booth.
Oh boy.
Who's making points? Who's making points here?
I think Scott, but I mean also my own personal bias. I do like Link better, but it's also if it's iconic, then it's like Mario still one ups him by a little bit. Also because of the whole one up thing, you know, just in the...
Nice, nailed it.
But yeah, no, I mean like I get all of Steve's points about like, you know, also wanting to go back and play the Mario games.
They're easy to pick up. They're easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna play Mario 3 for an hour or 2 hours. You know, if you're playing, if you're picking up a Zelda game, it's like, oh, this is gonna take me all day if I want to get. I mean, you could save it, but
that whole experience as a whole is like pretty fantastic. So for the
as a first
I mean-
experience, I think it's more awe-inspiring to play almost any of the Zelda games,
Yeah, you
and
know what you're
maybe
getting with
not as
Mario.
much with Mario, unless it was the first time you were ever playing like Super Mario World, because there's nothing like it at that time.
Yeah.
Or I would even argue maybe Mario 3 and Super Mario World. Those 3 are just really, really, really good. But I do think it's more awe-inspiring to pick up like first time you played like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or Breath of the Wild, or I mean, I love Twilight Princess too, Or the Wind Waker.
Yeah.
People forget about that game too. So
Like, when
yeah,
you started Ocarina of Time and you just unlock that camera and go the other way,
Or
and
Link to
you're
the
like, I
Past.
can do this.
Yeah. So
It-
all right, I guess we're
it's a
picking Link.
Let's go. Our I think this might be the biggest upset of the tournament.
So far.
Yeah. I don't think you get anything that seismic.
So
And
Link takes the 80s title.
Let's go.
Da-da-da.
What is that line in the middle? Oh, it's just like a lineup. Well, that's weird.
That is weird.
Off-centered a little. Okay. Now the off-center thing is bothered. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
All right, Scott, pull up the 90s tournament. And then next week we'll do 2000s, 2010s. And then
Yeah.
we'll have the final four. We'll have a greater discussion for that.
Water real quick.
All right. So do you want to fuck with the seating here?
Let's take a look at the seating. So, all right, first off, I'm going to go down my list and then we'll look at the seating. I think this is how you added it, probably.
Yeah.
So, got Sonic the Hedgehog, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, Ryu from Street Fighter. Duke Nukem does not belong at number 4, but Duke Nukem,
No.
Lara Croft, Crash Bandicoot, Gordon Freeman, Spyro, Banjo from Banjo-Kazooie. Or should we include them as just Banjo-Kazooie? Should they be one?
Yeah, everybody knows. They're a duo.
Okay, so Banjo-Kazooie, Pikachu, Leon Kennedy, Solid Snake, Doom Guy, Cloud, Sweet Tooth, and Fox McCloud from Star Fox. We can.
I
think
think
Fox should be here, or do you think Kirby should be in place of Fox McCloud?
we could do Kirby there.
Kirby and
Can't-
get rid of Fox
yeah.
McCloud. Is there anyone
Yeah,
else
where
we
is-
should get rid of or keep?
Where's Fox? Oh, right here. We'll do Kirby.
16, which he doesn't deserve. I don't think Kirby deserves to be 16 either. We gotta mess
So I'm
with the
gonna do
seating
some radical changes here. I think Pikachu is number 1.
here. I would put Sonic at number 1.
The face of Pokemon.
All right,
Sonic?
put Pikachu at number 1. Fine. Actually, yeah. Sonic might be
I think Sonic is
4. Actually,
Yeah. And then
2. Who would you go to? Would you go Lara Croft 2, or would you go Scorpion? Or would you go Scorpion?
I think Mortal Kombat was kind of a bigger deal.
Yeah, I'm
They
looking
had,
at the
like,
rest
the
of these
court
names,
cases
and
and shit.
I think everyone knows Scorpion. I think you have to have probably
Yeah.
Scorpion at number
Let
2.
me put Duke Nukem here so I don't forget. But I don't think he deserves 10 either.
Ryu can
be honest with
stay at 3. I think.
Yeah. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat were kind of big deals in the 90s.
Let's put Sonic at 4.
Yeah, I agree. Lara Croft at 5.
Lara Croft at 5.
Crash Bandicoot at 6 sounds good. I think these swap.
Yeah, I think we
But
can
I
keep
mean-
Crash at 6. Gordon Freeman. I don't know if he
Half-Life's a
deserves
big
to be
deal.
that high. Half-Life was a huge deal.
It is a big deal.
All right,
That
leave
It like reinvented It invented first-person shooters. The modern
the
first-person
modern
shooter.
version, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
amazing that they're still kind of doing the same things they did back in 98.
Yeah.
All right, we can leave him at 7.
8. Spyro. I like the Spyro and Banjo.
Yeah, Spyro 8, Banjo
Versus-
9. All right, so now we have 10.
What's 11?
Well, 11 is Leon Kennedy. Do you think he goes to 10?
Yeah, I think Resident Evil 2 is a bigger deal.
Okay. I would put Solid Snake at 11,
Yeah.
and I would put Doom. I would put Cloud at 13. Actually,
Where's 13?
man, yeah,
then-
Kirby is down there, huh? And then I would put Kirby
At 14?
at 14.
Who are we missing? Who did I just take out?
Hold on, we're missing one.
Doom guy.
Yeah, but we're
So-
going over.
No, if we do Kirby here, Cloud at 15.
No, Cloud, we already moved up.
Oh, wait, 13. Yeah, Cloud, you put at 13. So what am I putting here?
We have a
Doom guy?
12. Who's 12?
Who the fuck did 12? Solid Snake.
You have Solid Snake at 11 and 12.
Oh, okay. Who did we replace with Solid Snake? Doom Guy?
Leon Kennedy at 11.
No, we put Leon at 10.
All right, leave Solid Snake at 11.
Okay.
Put
Cloud at
Cloud at 12.
Doom Guy at 13.
Kirby at 13.
Kirby at 13.
Kirby's more recognizable than
Yeah.
Doom Guy. Doom Guy at 14.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem at 15 and Sweet Tooth at 16. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
I bet you there are a bunch of people that don't even know who Sweet Tooth is.
Yeah. So, do we stand on ceremonious ground, Mr. Wayne, or do we just put Pikachu here?
If this were the 90s, Sweet Tooth would have somewhat of a fight, but it's not.
Pokemon was a phenomenon, a worldwide phenomenon. Remember that? We fucking played that shit till we heard the music in our sleep.
The debate is
good. I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, that was everyone.
There's no,
Pete said it is the debate the game or the character. It's a little bit of both. It's
a mix. It's a mix.
So it's how
Even if
iconic
it
the
is a game in
character
the
is.
character.
Yeah, how great the games were that character was involved in.
Pokemon game just came out. When was the last time the fucking Twisted Metal came out?
2012.
Yeah.
And how good like that character is as an actual character. I think those are the three things that we need to look at. So I think Pikachu probably
made me cry. Remember that in the Pokemon
squashes
movie?
Sweet Tooth in all three. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? If you get washed and then you go up to a fight with Pikachu, he's an electric type. He's going to get you. It's water and electricity don't mix.
Yeah, all that melted ice cream in Sweet Tooth's ice cream truck. It's all conductive.
Croft versus Cloud. That's tough.
That is tough.
Because Final Fantasy VII,
people love that game.
Regarded as one of the best games of all time for people. I wouldn't know. Never played it.
I also wouldn't know, so I'm kind of biased against it. But I'm trying to stay objective.
Yeah. Lara Croft got movies.
Now, I'm not a big... Steve, do you play Final Fantasy?
I try to get into it every now and again, and I can never...
Okay.
Really...
Is Cloud in any other game outside of Final Fantasy VII?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. Yeah, no.
I don't think so either.
Because
right?
all the Final Fantasy characters are usually like specific to that one game.
That's
or
what I thought.
If there is a sequel to that one,
it's like Final Fantasy VII X2, the third one.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to know which
So,
game?
I think based on that, we can maybe put Lara above him.
Yeah,
because
Lara Croft's Rolodex of games is bigger.
As iconic as like Final Fantasy VII as a whole as a game might be better than any Tomb Raider game, but I think Lara Croft is more iconic than Cloud, and I think she's probably
she
got
had
more depth as
movies.
a character. Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember when Tomb Raider came out and it was fucking huge? Like the actual game, because it was...
Remember the rumor of there was always those fucking rumors going around the schoolyard, like, oh, if you do this and you save it at this point, you double jump backwards, you could get her top off. And
yeah.
It's like,
yeah, when
like
we were like
shit.
12 or maybe even younger.
Bonk, go to horny jail.
And
yeah,
have you
like,
ever...
I want to see them polygonal nips.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you ever seen what she looks like from PlayStation 1? She's got like triangle boobs.
Did you ever see someone cosplay as the PlayStation
yes,
version
it's
of her?
fantastic.
Yeah, it's genius.
Have you ever tried to play one of those games? They're impossible. Like the original Tomb Raider games, they are so hard.
I remember I got caught. I think it might have been the beginning of the second one. You start a cave with a tiger, and like the textures on the wall and the door are the same, so you just can't see that there's an opening. So I remember my tiny child brain was just like, I can't go, and I stopped playing. I was like, I don't know where to go.
Yeah,
and
I think
just stopped.
I think all three, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, and I don't know why I kept buying them or how I kept getting them, because I would do the same thing. I'd like wouldn't get past the first level. I'd be like, I hate this game, and then somehow I'd just buy the next one and did the same thing.
It was the boobs.
But the
power of
rebooted,
the boobs is
yeah, right. The rebooted one was very good. The rebooted trilogy
Yes.
is
I like
awesome.
the rebooted
Rebooted
ones.
one.
Yeah.
All right, who we got next? Gordon Freeman versus Leon Kennedy.
That's also very tough because
Oh.
both games are very like
I am
influential in their franchise.
such a huge Half-Life fan, so I'm a little biased.
I'm a big Resident Evil fan.
I'm
but
also a big Resident Evil fan, but like,
I could go Gordon Freeman easily just because of like it's just a more like influential game, right? Like no, you don't
is
get
it
the
though?
PC.
yeah, you don't get the
On
tank
PC, it
control.
is.
You don't get the tank control games anymore. You don't get the pre-rendered. Like the graphics were crazy for Resident Evil games back in the day because they kind of like did some wizardry of game development, but they didn't innovate anything. Like the controls were shitty. The fucking the guns were
started.
aim.
They started survival horror games.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the functionality of the game itself is dated.
Yeah.
It's clunky. They had to reinvent themselves again. But if you're talking about the character, he was in 4.
Yeah.
So 4 was also
4 is fantastic.
kind of influential in its own right.
He was also in 6, and 6 is really bad.
Yeah.
But there's
Half-Life
not
2?
really a bad Half-Life game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they stopped making them. So
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, the Resident Evil 2 remake was like game of the year that
Oh,
year.
yeah, that game's so good too.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
I do think Leon Kennedy is more recognizable.
Yeah, because you don't really see Gordon Freeman as
Yeah,
much.
that's true. You just
He just looks like an IT guy.
he does look
He's just a fucking
I mean,
he kind of
yeah. Half-Life did have like the first like true AI enemies, and it had the first I think it was the first person shooter to input like environmental not really, I don't know if cinematic is the right environmental like events where like you'd be walking down the hallway and like something would blow up, and which like every game uses now.
and like your camera would kind of focus towards it, and people would get like sucked out to space and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like there's
the whole source engine is.
Yeah.
All right, I was leaning Leon, even though I am a huge Half-Life fan, but I think you guys talked me into going Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, it's tough. I think this is our toughest choice now, but I mean, I'm not gonna like.
Some 21-year-old is watching this, going, "Who the fuck is Gordon Freeman?"
the fucking fish stick guy.
Gordon Fisherman.
Oh, great. Now I'm just mad that story has no conclusion. Oh, I'm thinking about it again.
I know.
Yeah,
I think about it all the time. Valve did release a Aperture Desk Job, which is a free like half-hour game. It's to show off the Steam Deck controls, but at least they're doing something. It's in the Portal universe, which is in the Half-Life universe.
And you also got Half-Life Alyx too, which everyone raves about, but I'm not gonna spend.
Yeah, I'm not getting VR.
I'll
I don't have
get
space
it
for one.
Yeah, I'll get it eventually whenever I get like an actual. I'm waiting. I want to get a VR treadmill so that I actually have to move, but they're not. It's not at the like
consumer level yet.
It's not. Yeah, and they're still not great. There's like everyone I've talked to. I've messaged some guy that I follow on TikTok that has one. I'm like, yo, like, is it worth it? And his response was like, no, don't buy it. It's really hard to walk in. And I'm like, oh, all right. So I'm gonna wait until they are at the consumer level because I think it will get there eventually.
Yeah,
and then
of course,
somewhere like 5 years down the line, I'll play Half-Life Alyx. I just
so
hate
we're going with Gordon?
still. Yeah, let's do it. Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Me personally, I would have said
These
Leon,
these are all getting kind of tough now that I'm looking at it. What we have ahead.
Ryu and the Doom guy.
This is tough.
Oh man. I mean, recognizable as Ryu just because the Doom guy. Well, no, not with the new games. The Doom guy's kind of on the cover art.
I would actually argue that I think Ryu is still more recognizable, but I think it's close. Like the Doom, we see a lot of Doom guy, and Doom Eternal were both fantastic. So I don't know.
And the Doom games were the best of that kind of first person shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That era of it, where like the gun was like fucking right in the middle of the screen. And you
Well,
couldn't
Doom is
move it.
another series where they don't have any bad games except for Doom 3.
Yeah.
Because Doom and Doom 2
And
are pretty fantastic, especially for the 90s. And
Miles,
Doom and Doom
thank you.
Eternal are great.
Oh my god, my cat just sneezed all over my keyboard. I will be right back. It's all
Are we taking a break?
Hey, let it out.
We need to take a break for Scott to clean up his
Sad
keyboard.
trombone.
Steve, what's your take on Ryu versus
Oh
Doom
my
guy?
god.
This was actually really tough because I feel like
Look
you know
at
the
it.
Ew.
oh
Get
jeez.
that out of here.
Disgusting.
Oh my god, that came out of my
Ah, God, how much fucking came out of his face? Damn it.
yeah, so it's tough because it's like, you know, both characters are one of the leading ones in their respective genres, and the games that they represent, you know, are like one of the top ones in their respective genres. So this is
Mhm.
kind of tricky. Although I do think there's probably been more good Doom games than there have been. Like I've
All right.
good Street Fighter games just because, but I mean the fighting game community is kind of a bunch of sticklers sometimes. So you know, I don't know.
The
I
fighting game
never
community is never satisfied with anything. Yeah. And then a new game comes out and they're like, why isn't it like the last game? And then they just, if you went back like 5 years, they were just bitching about the last game.
I'm gonna do the controversial answer. I'm gonna say the Doom guy.
I actually,
Strictly because-
I'm leaning Doom guy also.
just
I
because-
think-
and that soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty awesome.
so good.
Even the old MIDI sounds are fantastic. I think
I'm just gonna. Put
I
it
just
in there
think
as a-
Street Fighter isn't as, if we were going in the 90s, I would like, if we were in the decade of the 90s, I would say
Yeah.
Ryu. But because we're looking at it as a whole, even though this is the 90s bracket, I think it's switched, and I think it's more
Yeah.
Doom guy now.
Yeah.
So yeah, my answer is Doom guy.
Another upset. Now, one that might not be an upset because I'm gonna go with Sonic here.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got a.
I'm gonna go with
fast food chain.
Sonic also. Yeah,
He's got a fast food chain. He's got
it's a
movies.
fast food chain.
Oh shit! Why'd I do that? I don't want that.
It's also like the best of what Sega has to offer versus like Nintendo's
Like,
fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me delete that.
Not
I mean,
that
what
every
what
is-
else does Sega have to offer outside of Sonic?
Yeah, it's
Seaman?
been a while.
We
That
should have
was
put
a- that
Seaman
was a-
on the list for the 2000s.
the Leonard Nimoy anthropomorphic fish game for Dreamcast.
All right, Crash
Remember that quiz
Bandicoot.
of, like talking to your game.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
Hey,
I had that.
Pikachu.
Crash Bandicoot
so-
Solid Snake. This is tough too. These are all tough.
Yeah,
This is the
because Crash
toughest
Bandicoot
decade.
was kind of like like the mascot of PlayStation.
He was the mascot of PlayStation for a while.
Also, Solid Snake is like he's got some games.
He's kind of like the mascot of PlayStation also.
Yeah.
Sega did have Echo the Dolphin. That's right.
Oh yeah, another game where I didn't know where to go when I stopped playing.
I could be swayed either way on this. I think this is like pretty even. Somewhere there's a Metal Gear Solid fan cursing me out.
Fucking yeah, and somewhere there's a Crash Bandicoot fan breaking boxes.
Do they have that many fans still?
That's
like,
what I'm,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying. I think there's more of a fervent fan base for Solid Snake and Metal Gear Solid, so that's why I'm leaning Solid Snake.
All right, let's do Solid Snake. Yeah, I think you're
Okay.
right.
Oh, everyone
Cooler.
did freak. It was fun when what was it? Uncharted 4 when they put Crash Bandicoot in the game. You
Oh yeah,
played-
you could play it, the original.
Spyro and Banjo. My bias is showing, but I'm going Banjo.
I'm going Spyro. Sorry, Scott.
All right.
I
That's why we
think
have a
he's.
third.
I just think. I think
Which one is in Super Smash?
Yeah, Spyro
They're
should be in
icon-
Super Smash though.
They put iconic characters in Super Smash.
I think with the resurgence of the Spyro trilogy, I think Banjo hasn't had a game in how long, And the last game that he did have wasn't very good. So you're going on the,
Okay, but
the two games that he
new
had in the
game.
90s, and
Yeah.
Spyro has been Spyro's and Skylanders, which was huge for its time.
You're really gonna bring out Skylanders?
I'm bringing
as
out
an argument?
Skylanders as an argument. That
That's not
game
an
sold a
argument.
lot of toys.
I just think that Spyro hasn't had a new game. They've had a remastered game.
Which has brought the game back to life, and everyone remembers how great they were.
I don't know. I
Steve,
think
Steve's the
thing
tiebreaker
that-
on this
the
one.
thing that wins this for
Oh,
me
that's
is that one is in Super Smash and one is not.
Yeah, but I think Spyro will be in Super Smash in the next one eventually.
Okay, but if you can't live off of what ifs, you
Fucking-
live off of
Fucking
what is.
whatever the guy from Castlevania, I forget his name, was in Super Smash. That's not an argument.
They put popular characters. in
Super
there.
Smash has every anime-based JRPG character ever in their game.
People in Japan love dragons.
Shulk from fucking Xeno, whatever it is.
Hold on.
Xenomorph
People-
Chronicles. That's
People-
really
if
not
you
the
watch-
name of the
if you
game.
watch Banjo-Kazooie reveal, people are excited. Hold on. Banjo-Kazooie reveal reaction, maybe?
That's for the Smash character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not-
Because they're excited for the character. That's the whole point of this. Character. Look at these guys.
I'm
We can
going
talk
with
about
I'm going with Spyro. Sorry, Scott.
Banjo.
Steve, what's the tie break?
God fucking damn. This
Do I
was
hear
actually really
baby?
hard. This was actually really hard because like there was a Spyro game for like the GBA that I remember playing the fuck out of, and then I remember also the N64 Banjo game. Like those are two big games that are just like seared into my mind.
Helping the little Jinjos out. It was basically Super Mario 64, but you were a bear.
Yeah.
And then Spyro, you're a dragon.
Look, you had a bird and a backpack on your back that poops eggs. And it's one of those rare games. It has character.
Dragon.
Yeah, you're just a damn dragon. Like the Banjo has like all the characters that you love. The
Spyro
witch.
has characters too.
Yeah, but
There's
I mean,
Spyro guys.
that rare charm, the quests, the puzzles, literal puzzle pieces. I'm a puzzle fanatic. The puzzles are better in Banjo. The character is more relevant just because it's in Super Smash alone. Banjo wins. I'm doing like the Obama thumb. My vote is for Banjo-Kazooie. That's my final answer.
Steve, what do you
shaking
say?
I'm goddamn. I'm probably gonna go with Banjo.
Let's go.
All
I
right,
can always
put him
count on
there.
you, Steve. He's gonna lose next round anyway, so it's
Probably.
fine. Scorpion versus Duke Nukem.
Man, I really want to vote for Duke Nukem, but I can't do that to
This
Scorpion.
this is
Like,
tough for you. Mortal
listen.
Kombat and Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem would never survive in today's world because
No.
has so much toxic masculinity. But like those Duke Nukem games are fun and stupid fun. And they're good to go back and play now and be like, how did this pass? Like this
I
is
can't
so
believe this
ridiculous.
worked. Yeah. Yeah.
And his one-liners, he has one-liners, but like it's not him. It can't be him. It's
No.
got to be Scorpion. Unless anyone has
Alright.
an argument for Duke Nukem.
I doubt. Who can? I mean, we don't have any Chads in our chat, so.
I mean, I did like playing. I shouldn't have been playing the Duke Nukem games at that age.
Oh yeah, nobody.
Oh,
nobody
me either.
we don't-
You go to like the titty bar. Shake it, baby.
Yeah.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
The mall at a gum. So Pikachu versus Lara Croft. I mean, it's got to be Pikachu, right?
You gotta catch them all. What do you mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Unfortunately, it's 2 against 1 here.
as a character, Lara Croft it has better character development.
Oh, I'm sorry, the fucking electric rat.
Yeah. Also, him in his
Pokemon movie.
in anime, yeah, Pikachu's a fucking.
All right,
bro.
go Pikachu.
Damn
Let's
right.
go Pikachu.
Yeah. Gordon Freeman versus the Doom guy.
This is tough. This is real
Yeah.
tough.
First person shooter powerhouses. I mean, I'm going Doom guy.
I think I'm gonna go Doom guy. I really
Yeah.
love Gordon Freeman. I really love Half-Life, but I just think
They're just like
haven't.
Doom Eternal is too in the
Doom
forefront.
Eternal
and I
is
think,
so good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Doom
there's
Eternal.
definitely a lull in the Doom
There's- yeah.
series, but like its original prominence and its new resurgence are too big to
Yeah.
be able to overcome.
The Doom
even as
Agreed.
crazy as
And I think Doom Eternal, like, I really think that kind of just reintroduced the first person shooter as a whole.
like an
It
arena.
just made it like
Kind of-
refreshing.
Yeah.
Just the way you had to, like, you have to use certain weapons to defeat certain like, you couldn't just go through with a machine gun and like shoot everyone. You know, you had to, like, this guy's weak against this type of weapon or this type of
Yeah.
attachment or whatever, and like,
kinda
and they
like a
just
Night-
Souls
threw-
game version of
Yeah.
first
of a
person.
first person
Exactly.
shooter.
and they just
Yeah.
threw enemies at you. Like, they would throw 50 enemies at you and you couldn't gather your thoughts. You would just have to, like,
Be out
constantly
of
keep
breath
moving
at the end.
moving. Yeah,
Scream.
that game's so
and
fucking good. All right, yeah, I think Doom guy takes that.
Sonic versus Solid Snake. Oh,
Are any of us Metal Gear Solid fans here?
I played 2, and 2 was very good, but I think overall people like
People
there's
recognize Sonic more, but Sonic has really bad games.
yeah, but Metal Gear has had a stinker or two.
Or two. They're mostly regarded as like 90s and above.
The
I'm going
there
Solid
was
Snake.
a shitty one.
I'm
Really?
going Solid Snake. Yeah, because I think they have better. Sonic for a long time was just like, hey, we're Sega. Here's Sonic, and it's like they just shit out
Yeah.
this piece of shit game. And Sonic didn't really get a resurgence until like the movies came out.
Yeah, and Sonic got his cheeks clapped by Mario, and as far
Solid
as the
Snake
mascot wars go.
Solid Snake has a huge, like, is in a ton of games. He's got a bunch of lore behind him as a character. His character development's way better. I think what Sonic did in the 90s for games, but even still, like, Metal Gear Solid 2 was a huge, and Metal Gear Solid 1 were both came out in the 90s and they were fucking huge too. Yeah, I think Solid Snake wins this.
All right. Banjo versus Scorpion.
Scorpion. Sorry, Banjo.
Yeah, I love you, Banjo, but Scorpion is just like one of those staple characters that everybody recognizes.
And Mortal Kombat is so big now. It's like arguably bigger than it was in the 90s. And
yeah. It also has
everyone knows
kind
Scorpion.
Of a good kind of crap movie out now, just like it did
Yeah,
in the 90s.
it's meh.
All right, the final four: Pikachu versus the Doom guy. I think Pikachu takes it, just because of the phenomenon that Pokemon is.
But you can't just go by iconic like what we said with Mario.
I'm saying the games are more of a phenomenon as well. There's just a the sheer amount of Pokemon games. And they're offshoots. Yeah, Pokemon Snap. Yeah, Pokemon Go. He's just the mascot of Pokemon, and Pokemon is just a fucking like immovable object in my mind as far as like iconography and video games go. Trading cards.
Yeah.
Pokemon cards, man. You don't trade Doom Guy cards. That shit was like fucking that was gambling for kids.
If they had some really bad games, then I would say Doom Guy has a chance. Because I'm trying to think of outside of kind of like what we said with Mario, where like Pikachu, his iconic status is 99, right? That's up the top. Yeah. But if you're looking at the games, almost every Pokemon game is pretty good. Although I do think that they kind of like didn't really innovate until they just came out with Arceus, which is also really good for as shitty as it looks. Visually,
to show you how much people love it. They'll just keep buying the same fucking game.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
The only thing I think Doom Guy has is he actually as a kid. And no, all right, I just talked myself out of picking Doom Guy. He doesn't really have like a backstory at all. He doesn't have any lore really. Like they tried
He
to
just
give him lore in
rips
Doom
and tears.
Eternal, yeah, and and it like kind of worked. But before then, it was just like, no, he's just the Doom Guy. So all right, yeah, Pikachu.
Solid Snake versus Scorpion. I think I go Scorpion here. I think Solid Snake had a good run, had a solid run.
Yeah, I think it's Scorpion too.
But you gotta go Scorpion.
And I'm trying to hold back my Mortal Kombat bias also, but I think he's more iconic.
Now this one, Fire versus Lightning. Undead, revenge-filled warrior versus an electric rat. But if I gun to my head, I'd still say Pikachu. Just because he was on everything in the 90s. Pikachu backpacks. I had a Pokemon watch. My Trapper Keeper that all my Pokemon cards was Pikachu. I had a Pokedex.
But you can't just base it on how iconic he is.
I know. I'm not, but I mean that has to like be a factor.
It definitely is a factor.
He was everywhere in the 90s. You put like he was that kind of character that would show up on like off-brand stuff illegally just so they could get it to sell. Like you walk into Chinatown and it's just like a Pikachu on a pair of slippers that didn't have Pikachu on them. He was just on
They
the
weren't even
packaging.
yellow.
Yeah, it's just like you throw a Pikachu on it, and Pikachu is to Pokemon what Nintendo is to video game consoles to boomers, right? It's like, oh, you and that Pikachu, and they're just referring to Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Pokemon.
It's like, oh,
you're Pokemon.
You're playing that Nintendo, but I'm playing like Sega, right? Nintendo is just the game.
Yeah.
Pikachu is just the Pokemon. You know, he's just that like first thing you think of when you say Pokemon is Pikachu.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an argument for Scorpion, and it's hard.
It's tough because one is the Pokemon games are just more have a bigger reach just because they're like the barrier of entry is lower because it's a kids game. Everybody can play it. Like, people are trying to pull Mortal Kombat off the shelves, right? Parents don't want kids playing it, so you're like, Pikachu is just the guy of the 90s.
Mortal Kombat hasn't had a bad game in a while though. They did have MK versus DC. This is going back.
Yeah, and they're also both in games that are just. You boil them down, they are all the same thing.
Yeah,
right? Pokemon is all the same thing, and Mortal Kombat is all the same thing.
Mortal Kombat.
On it.
He said Mortal Kombat is the reason why they started rating games. That is true. The whole ESRB was because of Mortal Kombat.
I thought it was something else.
Which I don't know if that actually goes against Mortal Kombat.
I thought that was a common misconception.
No, it was Mortal Kombat. It was Mortal Kombat, and it was also like that Sega CD game that was like a home invasion, like Night Fright, I think was the name of it or something like that. Night Trap. That's it.
ESRB was established in 1994 in response to criticism of controversial video games with excessive violence and sexual content. Which game? Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So it does have that going for it, and it's still going strong. Like they're going to release Mortal Kombat 12.
But I mean, Pokemon it is just like that summer of 2016. When the world knew peace and Pokemon Go came out, it was the only time there was no fucking fighting in the world. Racism ended for a summer. Like it just Pokemon Go was like the shit that summer. So it's like, I get it. Scorpion is iconic. He's the man, right?
I think Pikachu is definitely more iconic. I think if you're looking
used to be get over.
If you're looking at games, I still think Pokemon might smidge. I mean, personally, I enjoy Mortal Kombat games more.
You gotta take that out.
But like, if I'm looking at it objectively,
sales of games too.
I think
Pokemon sells
Pokemon probably takes that. And then I mean, character development. Even though I think Mortal Kombat has such a huge, deep lore, the general Joe video game fan doesn't really pay attention to the MK lore.
People are like he's the evil Sub-Zero. He's the fire version of Sub-Zero.
So
like Pikachu.
I guess Pikachu takes this.
Right?
Yeah.
One.
I was just trying to find an argument for Scorpion, and it was really hard to do that. So
All right. So we have our 80s and we have our 90s winner.
the
Link
80s winner
pulled it
is
out.
Link, and the 90s winner is Pikachu. Do we have any? We don't have any Nintendo characters for the next 2 generations.
Yeah, they did kind of fall off.
Yeah.
Well, let me do this so we can put it on our socials. Let's do 90s.
When it comes to Nintendo, you pump out that many iconic fucking characters.
Yeah.
You can take a decade
Kick your
off. Yeah.
feet, yeah, you kick your feet up and you're like,
I mean,
let's just...
they have like Pikmin, that came out in like the 2000s, but that's not. I don't put him as like an iconic character there or something. All right, so next
All right,
week,
I'm going back to face cam.
I'm gonna go back to face cam too.
Yeah, next week we got-
me too.
Yeah, the ominous voice. In the,
Next
in the
week we'll take a
background.
look at the 2000s decade and the 2010s decade, and then we will come to our glorious conclusion 2 weeks from now to find out who is the best. I don't want to put, I don't know, greatest character. We said iconic, but now we're just not looking at just iconic. So, who is the
Overall,
ultimate video
The
game
ultimate
character?
video game character.
We'll take a look at it. So with that, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us. As always, you can
We went a
find
little
us
long, but
on, but it was fun. We went 2 hours today. Well, an hour and a half. Twitch.tv/Tresner, Twitch.tv/ThickFlare. Thank you, Steve Berkner, for coming in and helping us decide. Steve will be back next week and the week after to help us.
yeah, even if he doesn't
Decide
want
as well.
to.
We're dragging
You're
him.
stuck here.
we
Stuck in the
volunteered you.
Discord.
You stay in Discord until we need you. Don't go anywhere.
With that, any closing thoughts?
No, I'm already playing the outro music.
Oh, okay. I'll see you guys later.
See ya.